Defying the odds from the very beginning, one player has captured the imagination of basketball fans around the world, not with brute force or height, but with unmatched heart, dazzling skill, and the courage to challenge expectations. In a sport where giants rule, a 5'8" dynamo named Yuki Kawamura is proving that greatness isn't measured in inches. As the NBA's shortest active player, Kawamura is not just participating, he's turning heads, commanding respect, and rewriting the rules. His journey is a story of bold dreams, relentless determination, and jaw-dropping moments that leave even the most seasoned fans in disbelief. From electrifying plays on the hardwood to a path marked by sacrifice and grit, this is the story of how a humble kid from Japan took the basketball world by storm. But who really is Yuki Kawamura, and how did he leap from local legend to global sensation? Let's rewind to where this unlikely journey began. Before the world knew his name, Yuki was just a young boy with a basketball and a dream that seemed too big for his small frame. Growing up in Yamaguchi, Japan, he was captivated by the game and spent countless hours on local courts, fine-tuning his dribble, practicing shots, and challenging players twice his size. He idolized Yuki Togashi, a fellow undersized guard who carved his path through sheer will, and that admiration became the fuel for his own ambitions. Every evening, while others wound down, Kawamura was still training, his eyes focused on a future most believed was impossible. His coaches were stunned by his discipline, and his family witnessed firsthand the birth of a player who wouldn't let height define his potential. From the very start, Yuki Kawamura wasn't just chasing a dream, he was preparing to shock the world. And that preparation would ignite into stardom once he stepped onto his high school court. In high school, Kawamura didn't just play basketball, he dominated. Leading Fukuoka Daiichi High School, he turned heads across the country with a mix of lightning speed, precise passing, and fearless drives to the basket. Despite often being the shortest player on the court, he was always the most impactful. His leadership carried his team to back-to-back national championships, with each tournament solidifying his reputation as a once-in-a-generation talent. Opposing coaches tried everything to stop him, but Yuki's court IQ and relentless tempo made him nearly unguardable. Fans began packing gymnasiums just to see the little giant in action. By the time he graduated, he wasn't just a high school standout, he was a national phenomenon. And while many players might have been satisfied with such early success, Yuki had no plans to slow down. The next chapter of his journey was already calling, and it would change everything. At just 18 years old, Kawamura made the leap into professional basketball, and his impact was immediate. Signing with the San Antonio Phoenix, he became the youngest player in B-League history to not only debut, but score in a professional game. Fans were stunned. Commentators were floored, and suddenly, all eyes were on this fearless teenager who played like a veteran. He zipped around defenders, dished out no-look passes, and orchestrated plays with the confidence of someone twice his age. While most rookies eased into their roles, Yuki grabbed the spotlight and demanded to be seen. Each game felt like a declaration that he belonged, not just in the league, but among the elite. His debut wasn't just impressive, it was historic. And that history would only continue to unfold as he stepped into a bigger role. Rather than follow the traditional path through college, Kawamura made a bold choice. He went all in on professional basketball. Joining the Yokohama B Corsairs, he left university behind to dedicate himself fully to the game. That decision would prove to be a masterstroke. In the 2022-23 season, Yuki exploded. He not only won Rookie of the Year and made the league's best five, but also took home the Most Valuable Player award, becoming the youngest to ever do so. Night after night, he dazzled fans with his creative passes, clutch shooting, and intense defensive hustle. He wasn't just the heart of his team, he was the face of the league. Journalists hailed him as the future of Japanese basketball, and young players across the country began mimicking his style. Kawamura's rise wasn't just about stats, it was about belief. He proved that size was no barrier, and in doing so, he paved the way for countless others. But Yuki wasn't just focused on dominating Japan. His eyes were already looking beyond the horizon. Yuki's incredible run in Japan culminated in an international breakout that made the world take notice. Representing Japan in the FIBA World Cup, he played with an intensity and skill level that shocked opponents and delighted fans. In one of the tournament's most talked-about games, he led Japan to a massive upset over Finland with 25 points and 9 assists. That performance caught the attention of NBA scouts, and soon Yuki was invited to the Memphis Grizzlies training camp. Against all odds, he secured a two-way contract, making him the shortest player in the NBA and the first Japanese guard to transition directly from the B-League. It was a historic moment, not just for Kawamura, but for Japanese basketball as a whole. He wasn't just chasing his dream anymore, he was living it. And yet, his arrival in the NBA was only the beginning of his greatest test. Now he had to prove he could survive and thrive. Transitioning to the NBA wasn't easy. Kawamura faced immediate challenges: speed, size, and a new culture. His minutes were limited, and many questioned whether a 5'8" guard could really make it in the league. But Yuki didn't flinch. He trained harder, watched film obsessively, and quietly studied every move of the veterans around him. Off the court, he built a strong bond with Grizzlies star Ja Morant, who took him under his wing and helped him adjust to life in the US. Slowly but surely, Kawamura earned the respect of teammates and coaches alike. He wasn't loud, but his dedication spoke volumes. Even in limited minutes, he showed flashes of brilliance, highlight passes, defensive stops, and a fearless attitude that suggested he was far from done. And soon the world would get a glimpse of just how special he could be. When Kawamura finally got his chance to shine, he didn't waste a second. In one unforgettable sequence, he intercepted a pass and launched a no-look over-the-head assist that instantly went viral. Fans and analysts alike were left speechless. Social media exploded with clips of his dazzling playmaking, and his fan base began to skyrocket. Even with limited floor time, Kawamura made every second count, threading impossible passes, drawing charges, and bringing a fire that reignited his team's energy. He was soon selected for the G League's Next Up game, an event designed to showcase rising stars. The recognition wasn't just symbolic, it was proof that he was on the radar. That buzz continued to build as more eyes turned to the underdog making noise in the most competitive basketball league in the world. But the question remained: what was next for Kawamura, and just how far could he go? Today, Yuki Kawamura is more than just a novelty. He's a movement. At 24, he's evolving every day, sharpening his skills and refusing to be limited by expectations. Coaches rave about his work ethic, teammates rally around his tenacity, and young players around the globe see him as living proof that nothing is impossible. He's no longer the overlooked kid from a small Japanese town. He's an international symbol of determination and courage. As his game continues to grow, so does the belief that Kawamura could not only stick in the NBA, but become a real contributor, even a star. His story is still being written, one play at a time. But one thing is certain: Yuki Kawamura is not finished, not even close. The boy who dared to dream is now a man chasing greatness, and he's bringing an entire generation along for the ride. The world is watching, and Kawamura is just getting started.